So we just lost a good guy, Matthew Perry. He was 54. He succumbed to alcohol and drugs. He's been battling alcohol and drugs his whole life. Even when he was just 30 days old, his parents gave him a form of Quaalude to stop him from crying. Plus, Hollywood and making a lot of money, and just Hollywood itself can be a very dangerous place. I myself could have gone to Hollywood when I was 18 on a music scholarship. However, I didn't get the graduation present because I dropped out and my parents weren't going to do anything for me. My dad booted me out when I was 18, and I was sleeping on friends' floors and homeless for about 2 years. And the only thing that gave me comfort when I was younger was alcohol. You know, I remember the first time I tried alcohol, it was like a magic carpet ride. I felt every cell in my body light up. I felt all the weight of my dad's stressful, chaotic, strict household rules, all that weight lifted off of me. And I felt amazing. It was like speed to me. All right, this is when I was 17. Now, I was really scared about alcohol and its potential because I was sheltered and my parents didn't let me watch anything on TV. We had a very orderly household, kind of like Leave It to Beaver. Had to be in bed by 10 o'clock, no rock music, no cussing at the dinner table, on and on and on. So, alcohol was my first taste of literal freedom. I felt alive and I felt like I could do anything. I felt immortal. It was more than just liquid courage. But over the years, I basically succumbed to it. Alcohol won. Alcohol is a demon. It's self-centered and it's heartless, and it will give you all this power, but in the end it takes everything away from you. So I'm going to talk about how to get sober fast if you're a man. Now I'm 51, so I'm only 3 years younger than Matthew Perry. My sister is 55. And a lot of people watched Friends around the world, and Matthew Perry held it together on set. Never seemed like he was really that out of shape, without alcohol. It wasn't very visible. And that's the thing, is you can't really see it on people's faces unless they're literally homeless and haven't showered for a few weeks. But I myself, when I was about 36, that was my bottom. That was my rock bottom. So the fun wasn't around anymore. I was getting drunk twice a day. I stopped eating food. I didn't want it to ruin my buzz. And then eventually I just couldn't stomach food. I couldn't even stomach yogurt. And I found myself rocking back and forth in a dark room with nothing left. I had only one little part-time job working 2 days a week, and I could even drink at work. I was a caregiver for someone who couldn't rat on me if I brought beer to work. And so I was literally drunk or DTing 24/7. So I got 5 tips for you, okay? This is how you get sober fast if you're a guy. Number 1, realize if you're an alcoholic, you got to just realize you're an alcoholic, okay? If you can't control alcohol, or you have blacked out or passed out once or twice, you're probably an alcoholic. Realize it's progressive. It's a progressive disease. You will die. You will either die or go to prison or go insane if you keep drinking. So you have to realize that right away, okay? And I get a lot of comments from people that are like, "Oh, I can handle it." Well, then this video isn't for you. Okay? Come back when you really hit rock bottom. And that's number 2. You have to hit rock bottom. And there's many bottoms that look like rock bottom, but you will know. Okay? It's usually when you lose almost everything. But there's high functioning alcoholics that don't lose a lot. They might lose a girlfriend, they might lose a couple contracts here and there, but they can still drink. I had a friend that he could work every day, but he tied one on every single night. But he looked horrible, and he had heart problems and overweight, and not good. Okay, it will seek revenge on you. It might be in your 50s. You'll start looking like the Walking Dead. If you're in your 20s and you want to quit, great, I wish you all the best. But you probably will go back out in a week or two because you're young and you'll forget about the hangover. This is for people that are serious, okay? And I pray that you do quit when you're in your 20s. People do it all the time. But for me, I quit hundreds of times. I said, that is it. I am done. All right. And I went many months. There was at least 5 different times that I went over 6 months of sobriety. I had 10 months sobriety. I had 18 months sobriety. I had 22 months sobriety. One time I relapsed off of Theraflu. I was drinking Theraflu for a week, 2 to 4 packets a day, because it relaxed me and made me feel floaty. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is killing my kidneys and liver. Why not just drink beer? It's probably healthier than Theraflu. You have to be very aware of the lies before you relapse, okay? But you have to realize that there is a true rock bottom. And I realized that rock bottom, and I stopped. Almost cold turkey. I had 2 beers left. I sipped on them the last day I drank. I sipped on them, and then I slept 14 hours, and then I went to work, and then I got a second job, and then I learned how to stomach yogurt, and it was a slow path back to health. But after 2 years, that little sneaky voice came back in, and it's really tricky. It will use all of the tricks against you for you to drink again. So all in all, I had about 4 2-day relapses when I finally got sober. All right. But eventually the sobriety outweighed the drunk. Okay. And what I mean is the sobriety started to feel better. All right. All throughout my life, alcohol felt better. But there was a switch when I was 36 or 38, when I was 2 years into sobriety. And I had a couple relapses. After that couple relapses, the hangover was horrible, and I was like, no, we're not going to revisit this. Sorry, there's a little reflecting dot on my face. We're not going to revisit this. So it was at the point in my life that God intervened, and I had more, I could rationalize, and I weighed my sober life and my drinking life. I was like, okay, which one is better right now? Which one is better? Sober life. All right, let's stay sober. And after hundreds of relapses, I finally was like, I'm done. I have more to do with my life, and let's explore sobriety, because I've been getting drunk for 16 years straight, every night, blacked out, pissing my bed, pathetic, town drunk stuff. All right, blacked out for hours, didn't even know I was hanging out with people till they talked to me the next day, and they were like, you were so weird or funny or whatever. I was like, I don't even remember talking to you. I remember being with a girl one night, the whole night. I didn't even know that what we did the whole night. So crazy stuff. So you have to hit rock bottom. Okay. So let's just reiterate really fast. Number 1, you will die if you keep drinking. You have to realize that. No one gets out alive if they're an alcoholic. It's progressive. You will die. Number 2, you got to hit rock bottom for real. Now, I'm not saying go crazy and say, Eric told me to hit rock bottom, so I'm going to go on a bender. No. I'm saying it has to be real, and you have to really want to be sober. Your life depends on it. You have to be at that point where your life depends on your sobriety, and you want to live. You have a will left inside of you. You have a little spark left in your eyes that you want to live. You're not going to just bow down or bow out of this life. You still have fight, and you want to do something with your life. That's the other thing. As I was approaching 42 or something like that, hadn't done anything with my life, and I'm like, let's do sobriety. I've never been sober since I was 18. Let's do sobriety. Let's see. And now sobriety is a trip. It's every single day. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is fun. All right. Alcohol is what's boring. And in my 20s, I romanticized alcohol. I looked up to people who were alcoholic and did drugs. I looked up to the rock stars. I looked up to the Beat Generation writers, alcoholic writers, Hemingway, Jack Kerouac. My friends, we used to hop trains or hitchhike. I was like, oh, and art, drinking and drugging made me more creative. That was the other thing. I want to be an artist. I want to be the next Picasso. So I have to derange my brain with alcohol and drugs to create really good art. That's another lie. There's so many lies, it's not even funny. Satan will give you thousands of lies. Okay? But when you connect with God, a higher power, and you want sobriety more than anything in your life, then that's a great place to be. Number 3, you need to get rid of all people, places, and things that remind you of drinking. Like I said, when I got sober, I got rid of all my friends. I didn't really have them anymore anyways. They were fed up with me, but I just ignored everyone. Got 2 jobs, so I worked from morning until night, and I would just go straight home. And what I did was I still had some vices. I had my cigarettes, and I had my candy bar and my coffee. So I would relax after work, smoke, read a book, drink coffee, and have a candy bar. Or it was tea, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm not drinking coffee. So I traded alcohol for some lesser dangerous vices in the beginning. So I ignored everyone. And then eventually I moved out of that town. So I got rid of the people and I got rid of the places very quickly. And I got rid of the things. I got rid of all my books and any memorabilia that reminded me of drinking. All right, got rid of the rock star stuff, the Jack Kerouac. I stopped reading Charles Bukowski because he was just a drunk poet. So you got to change everything, and it can be fun. Make it a game. Number 4, if you want, I strongly recommend you go to AA for 90 days. 90 meetings in 90 days. At least do it. You can sit in the back, all right? Just do it and let it absorb into you. You're going to hear some crazy stuff. You're going to hear people being authentic. And that's what we want more than ever these days, is people to be vulnerable and authentic. And here's the thing. We're very self-centered as addicts and alcoholics. But guess what? One day, if you get sober, you can do some powerful things with your life by helping others get sober. It's a very empowering place to be. That's why I'm doing this video. I prayed to God before I did this video. Give me the words. Let me help someone on this video tonight. All right? I really care about you. If you're out there, it's an evil world and it'll eat you up, especially if you're an addict. If you're an alcoholic and you're out there running right now, any night you could die. There was one night I was drunk and a girl gave me a spoon of brown fluid and she said, "Snort it." I was like, "What is it?" And she was like, "Black tar. Snort it." And I was drunk. I didn't know. I was just like, "Okay, whatever." I mean, I could have died right there. I mean, we definitely have angels looking over us. I mean, there were so many times I drove drunk, passed out. I mean, I passed out in my car. There was many nights that I hit the driveway and I couldn't even get out of the car. Pissed myself, windows rolled down, 40 degrees out, shaking, honking the horn with my head. And by the grace of God, God sent my girlfriend past. She lived up the road. We weren't living together. And she was coming home from the bar. We weren't together that night, but she looked over and saw headlights on in my driveway, saw my car just sitting there. I couldn't even make it up to my driveway. She pulled around, came back. I was wet. I pissed myself, and I was hitting the horn with my head. And my windows were rolled down in December, and I could have died. That's just one example. There's many. But God wants you alive. He wants you to tell your story. You got a story. Okay? We all do. We have a great story. So do 90 days, 90 meetings in 90 days. And number 5, replace the bad habits with healthier ones. Now, as addicts and alcoholics, we are addicted to dopamine. This is all a dopamine game. All right? We want to feel good. Alcohol was the best dopamine in the beginning, but in the end, alcohol depletes all those dopamine sensors, and we can't get high off of anything. We drink just to feel somewhat normal. We don't feel high anymore. All right, so when I got sober, I started replacing bad habits with good habits. I started drumming again. I started playing music again. All of my imagination came back. My creativity came back. I wanted to make music again. I got a drum set. I got a guitar. I went back to the gym. I started playing racquetball. I'd do this great workout, and then I'd hang out in the sauna. You got to try the sauna. 10 to 20 minutes in the sauna, you feel like you're on a drug, but it's good for you. Sweat out that alcohol. All right. Now, all of this, I'm not a doctor, so if you're really struggling right now with drugs and alcohol, you might need medical supervision to kick these things. Don't cut out alcohol or drugs cold turkey, okay, if you're really in it, because you could die. So you might need medical supervision. You might need to go to rehab, but I'm just saying that I went to the gym. I got a drum set, started playing racquetball. Racquetball is fun. It's fast. It's loud. If you can afford it, get a fast car. Start piecing your life together. If you lost your woman from alcohol, start working on yourself to get a new woman. When I was 2 years sober, I found my current fiance. We've been together 13 years. She's the highest quality girl I've ever had. Sobriety will reflect back to you what you put out, if that makes sense. The quality of everything skyrocketed when I got sober. My self-esteem went up, and I got everything was better. Got a better girlfriend, had a better workout. I could smell and taste. My senses came back. I wasn't polluting myself anymore. My skin started to look good. So it's really amazing to piece it back together. Make it a game. Make it a puzzle. All right? You only got one life. And I'm 51 now, and I'll have 10 years of sobriety without the relapses. This is no relapses. 10 years next month. I don't go to AA. I did in the beginning, but after a while, I was like, they just talk about alcohol. I don't even think about it anymore. It's not an option. That's the bonus tip. You have to make drugs and alcohol not even an option. Don't even fantasize about it. Don't daydream about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it for 1 second. All right? Think about why you're sober. It's for your family. It's for your friends. Everyone's rooting, cheering you on. It would be very self-centered of you to just die from alcohol. It's so pathetic. And if you last until your 50s, 60s, 70s, you're going to have liver failure, and you're going to be visiting the hospital a lot, and you're pretty much done. You're going to be a pathetic mess. So I urge you to quit tonight. And if you're really deep in it right now, go to the hospital. Say, or a doctor or a clinic or a rehab that has medical stuff and say, I want to quit right now. I'm done. So that's pretty much it. That's how you get sober fast. You have to take massive action fast. You have to get rid of all people, places, and things that remind you of drinking or drugs. Move out of your town. I mean, start looking on Craigslist for an apartment or a house. You have to take action now. And if you're really sick, take a week off and start journaling. That's the other thing you can do is journal. Say, day 1, I'm sober forever. Start journaling and start going to meetings and start eating healthier food. Don't go to fast food. Start eating healthy and sleep a lot in the beginning. And that's it. You're going to have lots of rewards if you go on this journey. It's going to be hard. There's going to be hard days. But don't ever think about drinking or drugging, and don't ever romanticize it ever again, because that'll suck you right back in. Do not ever think about it in a good light. Don't ever play it all the way through. If you have a memory that's good, like, oh, I was in the sun, it was sunny, and I had a Hefeweizen, and it was awesome. Play it all the way through till you were drunk and acting stupid, and you threw up all over yourself. You have to play that movie all the way through. If you start thinking about the good times, play that movie all the way through until it's ugly. It's not worth it. It's never worth it. Ever, ever, ever. So I pray for you. This could be your night. This could be your day. Do not go to that bar. You're going to have to get rid of your old friends. I know. It's sad. It's scary. But you got me. You got people in AA or NA if you want to go to NA for drugs. You can get new friends tonight. Find a meeting. Start journaling. Drink some green smoothies. Get nourishment back in your body. All right? And if you have to, smoke your cigarettes for another year. Get rid of them. Keep trading these bad habits for new ones. All right? I did chocolate bars for a year. I quit smoking after 2 years. And my high was working out and making money online. That's the other thing. I have autism. I love numbers. And I've always wanted to make money ever since I was a little boy. And so I dove all into creating content online with my music first, then my ebooks. Then I discovered affiliate marketing and network marketing. Now I work about 1 hour a day and make multiple 6 figures a year. And I do these videos to help you, because just making money is not fulfilling. That's why I'm doing these videos. I got a whole nother YouTube channel for business, but if you do want to check my opportunity out, click the link under this video. But you gotta get sober, because I'm not gonna work with anyone who's drunk. All right. So I love you guys. I hope this helps, and we can do this together. God bless.